Good evening, folks, or should I say soon, happy midnight. Yeah, was a big news day. Elizabeth Lynn Cheney ousted from the third chair of the Republican House Caucus. She's the former GOP chair. Her position in the GOP House Caucus was to get other Republicans elected. So now that she's out from her job and her job is vacant, I guess Elise Stefanik or somebody's going to take her position. And she was ousted by a voice vote. Yep. And they're like over 200 and some odd House Republicans. So who knows? But since she was the only woman in that position in the GOP leadership, let's see who gets in there. But do I feel bad? No. And the reason is Elizabeth's record when it comes to voting, she's like a staunch, I can't even say a staunch conservative. She's an extremist. She is. Wagwan Queen Lion. She's an extremist. And hello to everybody that got on this live. Elizabeth's record voting with the former guy, twice impeached, resident from Queens, is the highest among all sitting GOP members in both chambers, the House of Representatives and the Senate. She has the highest by 93%. So 93% of the time, she voted with Donald Trump. So what does that tell you? She is just like Trump. And just like her father. For crying out loud, her father supported the Tea Party movement back in 2009. And so did she, before becoming a House member. So I do not feel bad for Elizabeth. And yes, I'm saying Elizabeth because that's her name. I don't feel bad for her at all. I don't feel bad that she might be primaried. And I don't feel bad if she loses. But to those white moderates defending her, and even the 55% now that voted for Donald Trump back in 2020, this is for you. And even for Alyssa Olano, if you're listening. Where was this empathy and concern for Elizabeth when Elizabeth herself was quiet when Donald Trump called Mexicans rapists, murderers, and drug dealers back in 2016? Where was this empathy for Elizabeth when Elizabeth stood silent when, let's see, something else. Oh yeah, when Donald Trump said there were good people on both sides. Calling white supremacists good people when they caused a whole entire riot, killing one protester. Let's see. Also, she stood silent on kids in cages. She just stood silent on, what was it? When he withheld money from the Ukrainian government for their military. She did not impeach him the first time. She did not. When he told people to drink bleach to get rid of COVID, she didn't say nothing. When he kept lying to the people and saying he was immune for coronavirus, even though he caught it, she said nothing. So it took a whole goddamn insurrection for Elizabeth to wake up and smell the coffee. So I'm going to repeat this again so people can understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. Where was your concern and your empathy for Elizabeth when Elizabeth stood silent on the following? Donald Trump calling Mexicans drug dealers, rapists, murderers. Saying white supremacists are good people. Kids in cages. Withholding money from the Ukrainian government. Not impeaching him the first time. Lying about the severity of coronavirus. Continually lied about the election all the way up into the insurrection that she opened her mouth. So it took a whole fucking insurrection for Elizabeth to open her mouth. And Adam is not low neither, because it took a whole entire insurrection for him to open his mouth. Oh, Shanti, he spoke out against him before. Not quite so. Not enough. Because he voted with Donald Trump 90% of the time. So he's like the second behind Elizabeth Cheney. So you white moderates and some of you famous white Democratic voters, I'm talking to you and you know who you are. Defending Elizabeth Cheney and Adam Kinzinger. You are not my ally. I am not defending enablers of white supremacy. I don't do that. I don't do that at all. Especially when they voted for policies that were anti-Semitic, anti-black, anti-brown, and racist as fuck. And divisive as hell. I'm not doing that shit. So you motherfuckers can kiss my ass. And as for Elizabeth, girl, I know shit is hard right now. Even though you are brave and you're standing alone and it's a lonely world out there. But you know what? You're a Cheney. Even if you lose your primary in 2022, you be good. You got money. You got oil chains in the Middle East. You are doing just fine, girl. You are not hard up for some cash. Not at all. So, Elizabeth. Tough. You're going to be all right. Keep hope alive. I'm petty. Let me read y'all comments. The GOP can do bad all by themselves. They don't need us to sympathize with any of them. Let the door hit them on their ass on their way out. That's right, Lee. Because if this was the Democrats going through the shit that the GOP is going through, would the GOP have our backs? No. They would be laughing. They would say, look at the socialist Democrats fighting among themselves. They were laughing at us with AOC when she was, quote unquote, putting us on blast. And Democratic pundits, those so-called Democratic pundits, the progressive Democratic pundits, right? But the difference is in the Democratic Party. Black voters ain't going for that bullshit. You can try that progressive shit all you want. That Medicare for all shit all you want. But black people like, no, I'm fine with my job health care. I'm fine with the ACA. When you say an increase in something, black people gonna look at you like, motherfucker, what? Nah. If I'm getting my free health care, I don't gotta pay for shit, I am good. And that's how they're looking at it. So there it is. What we need to worry about is yes, Queen Lion, we need to worry about them. We need to worry about all of that shit. We need to worry about the House, maintaining control of the House, increasing our seat in the Senate and not trying to rely on Joseph Manchin III. And the local elections. Because I know in my state, there's local elections, especially in my city. And I'm going to talk about the mayor election in a minute. But yeah, we need to worry about these local elections, because at the end of the day, the federal level can do as much as they should, but can do as much as they can, excuse me, but it's all up to your local parts, and local elections do matter, because look at these voter suppression bills that are passing in these states. It's ridiculous. That's why voting in local elections, they matter. Absolutely, Queen Lion, absolutely. Now, I'm not going to be long, but my city mayor election has become national. I don't know why. I really don't know. I feel like it's so dumb that it became national. But then you got two national figures that's running in this race. You have Andrew Yang and you have Maya Wiley. I have no problem, and people know I am supporting Maya. And second to her, my second choice, because we got ranked choice in New York. My second one is Eric, and then my third, I don't know who the third is. But those are the two I see that got great visions for New York. Catherine is cool, but Catherine needs to show me more. But Maya and Eric does it for me. But I've been a little bit sketchy about Maya's groundwork and the way her campaign has been run. She got some Warren alums there, some Elizabeth Warren alums, and it's no problem having, different voices and different innovative voices. But this is not the presidential campaign. Maya Wiley is running for mayor of New York, which is one of the largest cities in America. She's running for a seat that has not been held by no woman at all. You gotta make her the most outstanding candidate. And right now, they're making her look like the black version of Elizabeth Warren, and it's really not cool. And I know that's not who Maya Wiley is. I know her to be the silver servant in this place. I know her to be that. So when people in her campaign try to make her say, I got a plan for that, it's making me mad. And yes, I donated to her this morning because I want to see black women win. As a black woman, I want to see a representation of me. This is the first New York City mayor campaign, mayor race, that we've seen multiple people of color. 3 black people, 2 black men, 1 black woman, an Afro-Latina, and another Hispanic woman, and yes, Andrew Yang, an Asian guy. So either way, there's going to be a black mayor. But my comments about, I heard Andrew Yang. Andrew Yang has problematic comments. He's like a libertarian adjacent. He's not a Democrat in my view, because if he was, he would have been promoting more of a Democratic platform that appeals to black people, and he doesn't. He appeals to those black Bernie ilk people, which is not that many of them in the city. But his comments just not on Palestine, which is offensive. His comments on what is it? On the LGBTQ. His comments about the way people live in the city. His comments just about the culture of the city and on the vendor culture is just no. It's appealing to, once again, white gentrified men. Those same ones that voted for Michael Bloomberg and Bill de Blasio. So that's a no. And he doesn't have that much black support. Hint, hint. Catherine is being endorsed by... Catherine Garcia is, I think, a former Department of Sanitation, what is it, commissioner? I don't know if it's under de Blasio or under Bloomberg. And she's also has 14 years of experience. She's pretty good. Here's some issues I got with her. That commercial is a piece of shit. She's not talking to enough people on the ground, especially black and brown people. I don't see her in Harlem. I don't see her in the Bronx. I don't see her in Brooklyn, especially black areas in Brooklyn. I don't really see her in Queens. Even though she is a native New Yorker, I don't see like her on the ground with black people. And the Times is honestly, it's another newspaper that's gentrified too, has more of the astute journalist. It's not like the New York Times or even the trashy ass New York Post, which those are actual New York hometown papers. So the Times endorsing her. They endorsed Elizabeth Warren and Amy Klobuchar, and what happened? Exactly. So endorsing Catherine Garcia, yeah, okay. Good luck with that. I'm surprised they even put Maya on there. Question of concern. But, yeah. But tomorrow's debate is going to be crazy. Andrew Yang is going to get attacked on all sides. Catherine Garcia may be one of them that might get him or get Sean Donovan. Because it seems like her and Sean Donovan is fighting for the same supporters. Let's see what's going to come for Andrew Yang. Maya Wiley's going to come for Andrew Yang, obviously. Sean Donovan's going to come for him. Let's see. Scott Stringer might come for him. And, of course, Eric Adams going to come for him. Eric Adams may come for him for a personal standpoint because the Yang campaign has been attacking Adams on a more racist level, and it's not that good. Yeah, the media narrative is just terrible. It's terrible. I hate the media narrative. I hate the media narrative when it comes to New York politics. It's like, if you don't know New York politics, I think you want to shut the fuck up on that. It's not good. Like, I had a Twitter space conversation earlier today, and I'm just like, there was a guy who I guess was all in for Andrew Yang running for mayor, but don't realize New York politics is probably one of the dirtiest politics ever. And when you're running in a New York race, it's not like your typical other race. New York City politician, an example, it's a wild beast. New York City is almost 9 million people. It's many departments out there. And let's just say, you gotta have tough skin. And Andrew Yang don't got tough skin. He's not ready for prime time. There's a couple of the folks that got tough skin in him. You got, Maya, she could be ready if she stopped having, I have a plan for that. Adams got Adams got tough skin. Let's see. Catherine got tough skin. Even Sean Donovan, they got tough skin. They got the toughest skin in there. They look like they're ready. Like all those four I just named, they look like they're ready. And I don't know who's going to be the top in June, because you got to have a certain requirement, have a certain percentage. But it seems like Andrew Yang is going to not have a great day on that debate stage. I may be wrong. But Homeboy's about to get attacked. And I don't know if he's ready. It's not like he's running in the presidential primary last year where he went unscathed, where nobody came for him. No, this is the New York City mayoral debate. One of the most toughest ones. And let's just say, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be so crazy that Andrew Yang might cry after getting the stuff that he's going to get to him. From the candidates on that stage, they're ready for war. And, you know, Adams may be attacked for his cop record and everything, and being a former GOP for only 4 years, like Elizabeth Warren wasn't. But Andrew Yang has done way more damage to himself in media coverage. He's always getting bad press all the time. So, and he says some racist things, and not just only about the Jewish community and LGBTQ. He says stuff about the black community too. And you came from one of your opponents who's black on a racist level. Your supporters, your white supporters, your white male supporters. So right there, that's a problem. You don't want to come for somebody that has years in and everything. And more than likelihood, I think it's probably going to be Adam's time. Because he got the older black folks and he got the older Hispanic folks. And they go to primaries. So if Maya wants to snatch up his black support, she got to start talking to the church ladies. Because they're the ones that will tell you like if they like you or not. And I listen to the older folks. Older folks got a good insight on stuff. And they're truth tellers. They are truth tellers. But yeah, I mean, this debate gonna give me a headache. I don't know if I'm gonna be live. But yeah. But my advice to Miss Wiley, because I know the debate is tomorrow. You have the debate and you got more groundwork to do. So if you want to come up on top and be in that top 4 spot or in that top five, I suggest you have a good debate performance. Because my prediction who's going to come out on top is going to be her. It's going to be Adams. And it's going to be possibly Yang if he gets saved by the bell. And who's that? And maybe Donovan. I am voting for Maya. I said that before. But if Eric does become the nominee in the general election, I will vote for Eric. Because Maya and Eric are my top 2. Because in New York, we have rank and file choice. So my rank and file choice is Wiley and Adams. Those are my 2. I don't know who's going to be the third one. But those are my 2. I have 2 choices. Because Morales, I like her, but no. DSA back. And Stringer, I never liked him. I didn't even like him when he was a local politician. Let's see. Ray McGuire gives me Bloomberg vibes. Not good. And let's see. Who else is running? Catherine's a little bland, a little boring. Even though she's equipped to handle shit, but she's a little bland and boring. So it's Maya and Eric. He was like, why are you supporting Eric? He's a coming, he was a GOP. I was like, I like what Eric is standing for. Eric is the New York story. He's a New York story, and he relates to a lot of the older guys that I know. But Maya and Eric are my top 2, and I like their vision for New York. I like they're gonna start working on NYCHA stuff because that's important. I am not supporting no one because they're a woman or because they're a black man. I'm supporting the 2 black candidates because of their policy stance and what they're going to do for the city of New York. Because you have to do community policing. That's important. Yes, it's good to strip the NYPD budget. But if you think about the NYPD, the main problem behind the NYPD is the union president, and that's Patrick Lynch. And I don't know how they're going to vote his ass out. Something going to happen to him. or he got to go to jail for something. But he is a person that is holding up police reform. And the only way you got to do it is have city council support. And it's also a city council election too. And city council is like the state assembly upstate. It's almost similar to, I could say, Congress, the House of Representatives, to pass sweeping legislation in the city. So it's up to them. It's not just only up to the mayor. Mayor can do but so much. But it's up to city council. And some of them city council members, some of them were scared of Mr. Lynch. Which I don't know why you're scared of an old Irish drunketh looking man. But yeah. But listen, I'm supporting the two African American candidates that got a bold vision for this city, and that is Maya Wiley and Eric Adams. So if you got a problem with me liking them too, kiss my ass. But until then, I am going to sleep because I'm rambling and I'm tired, and you guys have a good night.